Oh, it's good to be here today. I've just been given the task to explain how I've been involved in drift, and I've had to write it all out because I'm no good at speeches. And I just wanted to say thanks to my wife to pointing out all the key dates for me because I'm rubbish with numbers as well. So anyway, here goes. You can see a picture of Isaac there when he was first born. I'm sure it'll bring back memories for you, but it's a hard time, and we were taken by surprise when Isaac was born because he was our first. So we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what was going on. Anyway, I'll get on with the speech. So our journey began on the 20th of October 2000. Isaac was born at 27 weeks and weighed £2 10 ounces. He was our first child. Isaac suffered a large hemorrhage to the right side of the brain and also to the lungs shortly after birth. So as I said, we were taken by surprise, and nothing could have prepared us for the roller coaster ride ahead of us. Shortly after Isaac had this hemorrhage, Mr. Drift himself, Professor Whitelaw, approached us with a new procedure that was in its infancy at the time. This involved a clot-busting solution being washed through the brain over a long period of time to limit the damage to the brain, as you've already heard. So we gave our consent and treatment was commenced. Isaac was, I think, the 17th, possibly? Something like that, 17th baby to have this done. And after about 72 hours, the wait began to see if Isaac was strong enough to pull through. There were a lot of ups and downs, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm sure you've all been through it, but it was a difficult time. After a very long 11 weeks, we took Isaac home. I'm just going to forward the pictures here. You can see Isaac there. That was when, or just after he'd finished the drift. He still had the tubes in his head. And I think that picture was taken when he'd managed to pull his ventilator out. And they took a quick snap of him before putting it back in again. The nurses were really great at taking pictures at opportune moments. Let me just see what the next one is. Okay. So this is a reminder of life in NICU. I'm sure you spent a lot of hours doing the same as that, just sitting, holding your baby. It's very hot in there, and I always remember the beeping and the chimes, and it's a different world, but I spent a long time in there, and so did my wife. Every day we went to see him. So anyway, Isaac was monitored very closely by Professor Whitelaw and his team, and after about 2 years, Becky and I were approached to be parent representatives for a steering group when Professor Whitelaw got the go-ahead for the initial drift trial, which you were all part of. We gave our views from the other side and helped with certain aspects of the trial, which involved things to do with the parents who might be taking part. In 2005, the trial hit the headlines, and we were asked if we could do some interviews for the news items, which would end up in the national papers and also on the BBC. The hard work then began, and the professionals went to work, all the while collecting important data. When the results finally came in, there was great excitement, and we again got involved when a rather bigger press release was organised. We were all interviewed by all the main TV networks. There were radio broadcasts and countless newspaper articles. We even had friends in Australia who spotted Isaac on the telly. Becky and I will always remember an American TV network wanting us to do an interview which involved us having to stare in each other's eyes and pretend to be emotional, because that's what the viewers wanted, apparently. But of course, being British, that was never going to happen. And I believe they just ended up showing a piece that they did with Isaac, who was more interesting. We did this because we wanted to help spread the news of the trial. We felt it was the least we could do after all the hard work that had been put in by Professor Whitelaw and his team, a work which is still ongoing. So moving on to about 2010, St Michael's Hospital and the Crick team got very excited again about their new toy, a very fancy and expensive MRI scanner. We were contacted by Karen to see if Isaac would like to have a go in it. He duly said yes and became the guinea pig, which you'll hear a bit more about later. We then helped the team by reviewing a few leaflets and documents which were sent out to you as parents. This marked the beginning of the school-age follow-up study. So I've been on the steering group for this trial now since December 2014, offering help with all things parent-related. I've met some very interesting people and learnt a lot while doing it. I just wanted to take this opportunity now to say thank you to Professor Whitelaw and Karen and his team, who have worked tirelessly and continue to do so, to give these premature babies every chance they can in life. And I believe that Isaac and you are all testimony to all the hard work that they've done. So thanks.
This is Isaac.
He's very ill at the moment.
Oh, actually, well, yeah, I'll just let you do that. You're much better at it than me. So, this is Isaac.
Hi, I'm Isaac. So, as you've already heard, I was part of the initial drift trial for newborn babies, and that's made me a guinea pig in every sense of the word. So, of course, once the trial got underway and everything, in 2010, I was asked to be filmed by at least 6 TV networks, something like that. Well, loads of them. Being on the news, and it was amazing. I mean, because it was almost like being a celebrity, but not quite, yeah. I mean, I don't know really how to explain this, but it was very interesting. Sorry. Oh, my notes. Here we go. Yeah, let's start again. So, as you've already heard, I was the 17th person to be in the drift trial, and I was actually on the procedure for 4 days. So, after that happened, I was on the news actually twice. So, once in 2005, I guess. I don't know, when I was younger, and then once in 2010, which I remember more of. And it was amazing to be kind of the advocate for this amazing procedure that is going to change and has changed all of our lives. So the next part is to go into kind of how it affected me, and kind of, it really hasn't. I mean, obviously, yeah, I can't do certain things, but what you've got to remember is it's all part of life, and I guess you just got to adapt to that. And I mean, it's not as much you can't do it, it's as much you've got to learn to kind of do other things. And I was thinking before I came up here, if I hadn't have had this hemorrhage and been through the drift and not be able to use my right side and my left side of my body, I probably wouldn't have discovered all the things I love doing now. So like programming in the computer, and well, that's basically it. That's what I spend my life doing. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, and so it's. I think to be honest with you, don't let it. What's the word? Hold you back. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Dad. Don't let it hold you back, because you can do a lot of other things and not have to and not have to worry about it, because you've got other things that you can do. Oh, that sentence really didn't work, did it? Yeah. Thank you very much. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, next slide's questions, but I guess that'll be later. So, yeah, thank you very much.